I clicked the wrong one. It's fine. I just clicked the wrong one. I clicked the wrong one on accident, everybody. It's been a week. Last week was a nightmare. This week is a different nightmare. Guys! Guys! This might be the last stream. I hope not, but I have to do some stuff tonight. I've been having a heck of a I had a heck of a morning and had a heck of a day. So hopefully this isn't the last stream I do for a while. But at the same time my computer is screaming. And the fact that it's alive right now is good and I'm glad about it. But I am very concerned. So, welcome to the stream everyone. I'm your host Isaac MCCanary. And I gotta back up my files tonight. I gotta one second. I gotta back up my computer files tonight because I think my computer is about to explode. I hope not. I'm currently running a security check just in case. So if anything goes wrong, that's why. I'm too afraid to stop. This is always what happens. I start a security scan and I'm like too afraid to stop it. And it takes like 10 hours to do. Actually, it's almost done. It's only got an hour left. There's a couple culprits. I have an external drive actually hooked up right now that I'm going to immediately use to make a backup and then probably remove, but I'll save that for later. And then, guys, RAM's not supposed to break, and I think my RAM broke. Not good. Might explain why some things are going weird recently. Because things have been going weird recently. I've had everything from, oh, that's weird, I can't open anything from Windows Explorer, to, oh, that's weird, why is YouTube loading very weirdly slow? It has been a bit of a trial recently. So I'm going to back up my files, as one does when they have a feeling that their computer's going to die or have a heart attack. Not die, but have a heart attack. I'm going to back up my files and hope for the best. The main reason why I was really stressed about that, actually, more than anything else, is I would lose this, and I would lose all the work I did to prepare for October. Had what happened this morning caused my computer to permanently shut off. I woke up, I turned on my computer, and I noticed, oh, that's weird. Usually it doesn't take that long to start up. That's odd. Like, it didn't even show, like, the BIOS splash screen of the motherboard for a little bit, and then it finally did. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. And I went downstairs, made my breakfast, came back upstairs to a screen that said, something went wrong. We need to revert your Windows back to a previous restore point. And I went, oh no. Well, you can't do that. I don't know when the last time that happened was. And if I had to do that, I would lose a lot. I would lose the last month and a half of work. And that would be really bad for me and make me really upset and sad. So I said no. And then it broke and didn't do anything and said, it didn't work. You can try some advanced tools or you could shut the computer down. So I said, shut the computer down and try to turn it back on. And then it happened again. But this time I read more closely on the restore page. It said it won't delete data. And I was like, I say so. I believe you. I still am scared. And sure enough, it didn't destroy anything. And the computer did start. I was like, oh, thank God. But this is the second blue screen, major blue screen I've had recently, and I just want to know, at this point in my life, why? And at this point in my life, the only answer I can give is I need a new computer. I need just a new computer. If I was to just get at least everything except the CPU and the GPU replaced, just ground up into a... I mean that ground up as in from the ground up, not thrown into a blender and turned into tiny little computer bits, though that would be funny. I just need a new case. If I could just start from scratch, that would be nice. That is where I'm at with my computer. Because right now it seems that online says probably your RAM, and I went, how? RAM doesn't go bad. Uh, I don't know. I'm noticing that computers are becoming a little unstable. Maybe my computer's unstable, but I feel like computers are becoming a little unstable. I didn't have a problem with a computer until the last 3 years, really. Like, sure, computer things happened, but I feel like they didn't happen in a way that was like this. It's very odd. I feel like only recently it's been like almost a non like usually I would like have a problem and then I would fix it and the computer would be fine for a good chunk of time. And it feels like every few months something new has broken on this computer, which is really concerning to me. It's really concerning to me. I mean, I guess when I did my biggest upgrade was the same time that I changed out the hard drive, and the last thing that I had to change was the hard drives. I've changed the GPU, so all that really leaves is the RAM. But RAM is not. They say about 11 years, and I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think my RAM was already hand me down a little bit. Might be some decade old RAM in there. But I still swore it was at least DDR4. At least. But I can't look that up when I open my computer. And I really don't want to do that right now if I really don't have to. I don't. That's the other thing is like I really don't want to have to get into my computer if I really don't have to. So just know I don't stream sometime in the near future. That's why. And I will be really bummed out, but I'm going to try to do something about it, and hopefully my computer is not completely SOL. That said, fuck, it has been a trial. It has been something new, somewhere, constantly. Oh, God. Anyways, where we left off, I was making a count. I was making a count. I was making the funny count with the hand gestures. We got one more left. We'll probably get that done today, and then we might do some draw ahead. We'll see. Um, I also have a couple of ideas. I think I need to sketch certain frames a little bit more. I need to like start on a different layer. Maybe we'll see, depending on how badly I need to sketch. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. That's the funny thing about animation is I think animation there's like kind of two ways you can go about it, to which I do want to test this at some point. Fresco has a miniature animation program in it now that I don't think was there before that I definitely want to try. What you can do animation in there, and I would love to do like the kind of rough sketches in Fresco and then pop them into here for the clean like line art. I think that would be nice since this is an animation program and it's going to do better than Fresco is for this kind of stuff. Like this is where you want to be doing the animation, but if I can do my keyframes sketched in Fresco, that would be nice. And then if I could take those and then port them into here and then do the rest of the animation process and polish here, that would be nice. There's one thing I'll commend Adobe about, not a lot, but if there's one thing I would commend Adobe for is its more or less capacity to, more or less its ability to give you a lot of across tool play, right? Like it plays well with itself. Adobe plays well with other Adobe products. That actually is a fact. I feel like they do a very good job of having all of their files play with each other nicely as far as I have been concerned. I'm sure that there are cases where they probably don't. I don't have those problems, so we'll just we'll just go from here. Wrong layer. So yeah, that's what's on my mind right now. I do apologize if it's kind of weirdly a bummer. I do feel like it kind of sucks. Well, obviously, it kind of sucks. It's not great. It's not a great thing to have on my mind right now, but at least I'm trying to be a little bit like, you know what, whatever. Because, like, I don't know. I've had this computer for a while. This is not a new computer. This is a computer I've had since college, and I graduated college in 2015. It technically predates 2015. And whilst it has been Theseus from to hell and back. Like, it's not got the only original components on it right now are probably the case itself and all of the cords for its peripherals and a literal DVD player. Those are the only original parts on this computer. This computer is not the same computer I had back then. It doesn't have the same graphics card. It doesn't even have the same fan anymore, to which was a wind turbine. I kind of think that the fan that I had in there before the fan that I had in there last, which is probably going to be permanently replaced by the current fan I have now, though now I'm starting to doubt, or maybe I need to clean. I might have to clean my fan because I noticed my temps were kind of getting a little high, and I'm like, maybe that's what it is. To which, if that's the case, that really sucks. I've never had to clean out my fans, but I mean, if it's that important, like, I might have to start doing that regularly. We'll see. Um, and if you're out there, you're like, you don't clean your fans? No, I just don't. And I'm not saying I'm better for that. Always remember, if I ever say something like that, it's not because I have a like legitimate reason. It's because, if anything, and I would hope anybody would understand this, I don't clean my fans because I'm lazy. That's the truth. Who got time? Compute fans. I mean, if that's what it would take, that might help. Because, like, if there's, like, residual heat buildup, that's still not something I want having happen. Obviously. But it's concerning. It is concerning. I don't know what is going on right now with my computer. I'm hoping, like I always hope, that it's just kind of being a little weird. That's the dream, baby. The computer's just kind of being a little futsy. I don't know why. But I also know I can't just ignore it forever. I'm gonna have to figure out what the hell is going on with it. It's the one thing that makes me go, it everybody, I would say everybody chooses like one thing that's like their thing, that's like an expensive-ish thing. That's why I'm like, can't, I kind of hate owning a car because that's what a car is. I would argue even more expensive, though I think computers are becoming enough of a like weird niche luxury market that it's like, yeah, some people have cars, some people have pets, some people have cooking, and computers is one of those things. I would say computers is definitely one of those things. Which is weird, because I don't feel like it always was that way. I feel like computers used to be a little bit less maintenance heavy, and I don't know what happened. I'm not saying they shouldn't be. I'm not saying they should be less maintenance. If anything, I probably should take better care of my computer. I just don't. Um, always get a little paranoid, like if I applied things like the thermal paste correctly. This is also the first time I've had like a processor just not a processor be this strong that it causes these problems. I've never had that before either. Guys, this is just on my mind, and I hope that it's okay. It's stressful. It's stressful. Waking up to your computer blue screening is never a good feeling. I don't know anybody who would say that. And you could probably understand why my alarm would be apparent. There has been kind of a thing I've been experiencing in my recent life in which it has been very harrowing. I've not been in a very good recovery stage, if that makes sense. There's been some shit going down in my life, and it sucks. Don't like it. I wish it would calm its tits. But hey, hopefully it'll just all blow over. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping, is that this all just blows over. Button. Button. I lost that button a while ago. Redraw the button. Redraw the button. Button. Pay attention. Gotta pay attention or else you lose that stuff. I think also my concern is like very, 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 very recently, I feel like I've really started like being on that precipice of being able to like actually like kick off some stuff. So the fact that I feel like I've been really, really struggling with a bad, bad case of like just complete, utter uphill battle bullshit, I will admit it's stressful. It's been very, very stressful for it, unfortunately. For example, there is something to be said in which, even though my computer I want to be a priority one, it might not be a priority one if my computer is experiencing difficulties. And that irritates the ever goddamn living hell fuck out of me. Like, that. Don't look at that. Oh no, that's the opposite of what. Good thing that there was nothing important. Oh my god, I appreciate you, James. James, though, is my computer buddy. James just wants to make sure that I have a functioning computer because he knows that if I didn't have a functioning computer, he would have no one to hang out and play video games with, and that makes me feel happy and worry for Jam. Jam, I care about you, but and I care about my friends. And I will admit, I think I was being a little bit dramatic earlier. I don't want my computer to kick the can. I certainly do not want my computer. I don't want my computer to hit, you know, to be on the way out. I'm just worried. I'm just worried about what the hell happened today for me, and I'm trying to be mindful of it. Hope for the best. What they say, hope for the best. It. You know what they say, hope for the best. Plan for your worse. Hope for the best, expect things to go wrong. That's my motto. I've also just invested a lot into this computer, no matter what. I have a bit of sunk cost fallacy, right? Like, I've gotten this far, so for my computer to just upend and me not really have a way to continue keeping it alive, that would suck. That would really suck. I'm hoping it's just the RAM, and I'm hoping that if it is just the RAM, that's a pretty okay. That's a pretty okay replacement. Like RAM, the RAM I can get is not going to be the most expensive RAM, and RAM lasts for fucking ever. Like RAM should be fine. Like if I got newer RAM, it would be done. A decade. It'd take a decade for it to be eaten. So unless my computer is doing something to eat RAM, which you shouldn't eat RAM, it's not good for you. Like no pun, no, not it's not even a pun. No joke intended for a RAM hungry computer, but sure does feel like it's chewing on it correctly, which makes me a little bit concerned. I honestly don't know why zooming in like that would affect anything. I really don't. Let me get the hand done. Gotta see. Here's the funny thing. I actually think the coloring will go faster because that's just coloring. Yeah, it'll be a little bit tedious. I'll have to color every single frame, but the frames are done. The motion is done. All it needs now is coloring. And I would like to believe, especially the way that I'm thinking about it, I would be able to color a frame, a digital frame, a lot faster than doing this drawing. I think this part is going to be the part that takes the most time. Cross my fingers and hope to Christ. That's true, but you know, c'est la vie. Rex hand. T-Rex hand. Kind of something I'm noticing that I'm doing with my style is I start a lot with the things that do the most motion, and I change those things first, and I save the things that stay still for last. And that makes sense, especially if it's stuff like this. That's just the way I do it. That's just the way I do it. That. Draw the rest of the owl. Swoop. Swoop. Guys first. And I'm just really getting in there. Eh, eh, eh. Overlap a little bit. Way. That actually helps a ton. I need to zoom in more. I need to zoom in more. I need to use certain kinds of practices a little bit more. One of the things I've really started doing better in training is like actually terminating lines properly, and like drawing a line all the way out to an edge. I feel like I was particularly bad about trying to draw a line and then stopping it before I should. Like I would stop like there instead. And really I need to stop like all the way down there. And even then I probably could have gone a little bit farther. Now I can't say that I'm going to have any animation in my next project. Or my other project. I guess I should be a little bit more transparent about that. My other project. I don't think I will, or if I do, it's going to be very simple stuff. I have some ideas. Because one of the things I am a big fan of that will be an element of that project that I'm going to be experimenting with is it is no secret to anyone that knows me and my friends and my friends that we are all pretty big fans of found footage. Sean showed me Marble Hornets shortly after I met him in college. I grew up with Cloverfield and thought it was the coolest shit. My favorite moment in Halo is the literal found footage segment in which you find a camera recorder and it plays back the gameplay in engine through somebody else's perspective, which in my opinion is one of the most underutilized pieces of found footage mechanic you could have in a game for storytelling, and it's so cool, and I can't believe it's not more of a thing, because even now when you find found footage in a video game, it's just a pre-rendered cutscene. Resident Evil 2 has found footage in it, but the thing that makes the found footage in Halo so special is that came out in a period of time in which cutscenes were either pre-rendered or in-engine, and there was a distinct difference between them. And because of that distinct difference, You could actually get a tangible difference in feeling depending on if the cutscene was pre-rendered or if the cutscene was in-engine. And that found footage sequence in Halo 1 is still to this day one of my favorite parts of that game and one of my favorite implementations of that game's engine to make a narrative scene. Like it's so good. And nothing has done it, as far as I know. Nothing I've ever seen has done what that game does. Like, ever. I haven't seen it. If anybody has, please point me to it. I would love to see another example. Because it's so cool. Nothing. Ah! Why does that happen? Why did you double my music? That's happened before. That actually happens a lot in, So when I go to do video editing, mainly clip fishing. Yes, that's right. That's right. I say what it is. It's clip fishing. But, I mean, it's actually the kind of thing that I've been wanting to do for a long time that works actually a little bit better for me. That's why I'm like, I want to part the veil here. I dislike what's going on YouTube, not because I can't make shorts and have been wanting to do that for some time. That's the good part. The bad part is the thing that I've been doing for so long that I should have been doing, that started showing results that it would maybe start doing something, no longer works. And that sucks. Why not both? I was wanting to make like more kind of edited clips anyways. Better now than never, but still, it kind of sucks. Anyways, whenever I'm working with a clip, if anybody out there has noticed, when I'm making my shorts, I like to use music. I do. And I'm still at a weird odds about it because I look at it this way. I want to do the right thing, so I will try to always like put the credit in there, and I understand the risk that I'm taking. And if anybody were to be like cease and desist, I would be so fast desist and ceasing. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I just like your music, and I'm trying to figure out how to do this stuff, and I can't produce everything on my own yet, but I understand. Please don't ruin my life because I used music, because I still want to be able to practice doing that. And there was a period in time where that was just what that's what videos were. Like that's like a version of video was kind of like a mini music video. Listen, we would not have Anomalous tribute with motherfucking Wake Me Up by Evanescence if fun YouTube fan music videos didn't exist. Okay? And it's still one of my favorite things on the planet. I love that fucking video. That's why I'm like, there has to be a medium. People need to be allowed to do that stuff because it's still creativity. Like, it's still people expressing themselves. You know? Not everyone's trying to steal someone else's work and say it's theirs. Like, some people want to share the things they like because it's not theirs. But I digress. One of the things that happened just now, which I don't understand why it happens, is, and if you're watching the VOD, you probably think I'm sounding like a crazy person. I accidentally did something on another window on YouTube. I hit space somehow, and somehow it immediately started making the music play at double speed. That happens sometimes when I just hit space, because what I will do when I'm trying to look for music to go to clips, I'll like put on a song, and I do this pretty meticulously. I'll have my clip in one window, I'll have the song on another window, and then I'll go and I'll hit space, or I'll click in the window of YouTube and hit space to hit play for the music to play, and then I'll click play on the screen with the video, so that way it syncs it up and they are at the same time, and it's just a way to test to see if it'll work. So that way I don't have to download every single song I want to try. It's just a way to give it. It's just a way to give an idea to test if it would work for the video just blatantly, because that's how I kind of go about the process. Is like I try to pair a video to music I like, to music I find, with as little alteration as possible, so that way I don't have to stress myself out. I scrub, and a scrub. Um, but sometimes when I hit space on the YouTube side, it doubles the speed replay speed. I don't know why. It's so weird. It's very odd. All that to say that, though. All I was trying to say is sometimes I do a thing and it does something. Really all I was trying to say. So, gotta go 2. Yeah, it's gotta curl all the way. I gotta curl my fingers all the way back. So I'm curling. Okay, they're curling their fingers. Yes. Up, that. Which I'm glad I could do that. Like, it's something that I've always wanted to do. I have a deep, the kind of like clip modification I've been doing, and I'm like, this is actually something I want to do because it's something I have wanted to do for a long time. The reason why I care about it so much, in fact, is that I kind of like remembered a lot, like having a lot of inspiration for that kind of stuff, and like remember a lot more of like might need to I grew up with a lot of videos like that of people like setting like gameplay that they did that they were really proud of, or like things that they did that they were really proud of, to music, and like kind of sharing like I wouldn't know certain kinds of music if I had never seen those videos. I wouldn't know that Shibayan Records even fucking existed if it weren't for a classic Bloodborne Dark Souls PvP player that I cannot remember the name of, and I feel really bad about now. But he had like they had a Bloodborne multiplayer video that they set to Shibayan Records, and it was like one of my favorite videos. I would never have heard Shibayan Records if it wasn't for his video. So that's why it's like I get it. I get the copyright thing. This is not me saying guys should just do this, right? But it does. I think there is a gray dot. There's a gray dot, right? Like about being able to say that people sharing music that resonates with them, sharing music that means something to them creatively, is something that I still think is valuable. And that's why it's frustrating. It goes both ways, right? Like on one hand, you know, somebody should not have to have their work taken. Obviously, like I would never think it's okay that somebody should use somebody else's work if they in a capacity that the person who has that work wouldn't want them to use, or like wouldn't want their work to be misrepresented, or wouldn't want their work to be um misclaimed. Like I get that totally. um I think that's why it's like still important. It's why we have, in my opinion, it's why we have things like really rigorous citation systems, or I'd like to believe we have very rigorous citation systems. It's the reason why I learned about citation in high school and college and everything, of having to cite your sources and everything, actually, is because sometimes a certain element of reality kind of dictates. uh, a certain part of reality probably kind of dictates that um, you can't make everything on your own. You can't. You have to get a reference point somewhere, and you have to be willing to share that you were inspired. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's probably a good thing to be able to say like, "Hey, this piece really inspired me, and this is what it did to influence my work." You know, this is what it did to influence me to make the decisions that I made, or the decisions I didn't make. Maybe some things about inspiration are I really liked this thing, but I kind of wished it did this instead, and stuff like that. Or just being able to say like, "Hey, this is just a bomb ass song I found, and it sounds really good, and I want to share it with people." But it's all been tied up in a really messy mess now that makes it really difficult to actually do that. And I, again, am not saying that, you know, because it does, it's not to say that this is it's victimless. It's more of me saying how it's a part of the internet that I do maybe miss, that just can't really exist anymore. Maybe that's all. Maybe I could just admit that. They can just admit that you really can't do that anymore. Or rather, it's really difficult, or it has some pretty bad, you know, consequences to it. Which fair. It is the struggle. If anything, I still think like maybe we should be willing to actually that now here's my bias. Here's my bias in my oh so yet perfect world that I would like to see. Um if this is such a problem, if like this is such a problem, it hurts, artists, it hurts record companies, it hurts the people who actually produce and make the music to make it happen. Um I don't know. Maybe the the object, the thing that is made, maybe there should be something about it that the thing that matters, the thing that's like actually like, hey, at least it did this, that like makes it work, that makes it, extant. Maybe that should have some kind of like reassurance or insurance or something, that it's like, hey, as long as it was doing the X, then Y is okay, right? Like, which kind of, I mean, it's kind of like that already. Or like be able to like tolerate an element of it. I mean, that's why fair use exists and everything, right? For comment and criticism and like that. Add a citation clause. I don't know. I think that would actually, if that doesn't exist, it should. That'd probably help a lot. So that way you can free up the creativity for people to be able to be like, hey, if you're going to use something that genuinely isn't yours, you know? But that's what royalties are for. It prevents people from using your work without your permission. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think that the freedom to be able to create and the freedom to be able to share even not even other people's things, even if they aren't necessarily yours, is an important part of humanity. I genuinely do. I think that there is still something lost when people can't freely share things that they find easily. There's still some loss there. There's still it is a situation that I think doesn't have a simple answer, but also doesn't have a simple moral right or wrong. Because if you're for it, and you are being like, well, yeah, then you're just being okay with people being able to freely utilize other people's work. Yeah, I'm not necessarily okay with that. But also, it's not like it hasn't had a positive influence on my life. Like it's not like there is no reason or any evidence that being able to do that is a net negative. I think it's net neutral. I don't think it's wholly good, but I also don't think it's wholly bad. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for this. I probably am. I'm only so meh about it because I do get it. Like I don't. I think that there is legitimacy to being like you can't just freely use other people's work, and yet at the same time, I still feel like I've literally heard people like the people who I would call the veterans of the internet at this point just admit that they saw their own shit taken and reposted without their permission and just be like, it happens. You know? I think if I think it should come down to maybe the individual. I don't know. I think it also depends on what it is. I mean, you can't do it. You could or could not do it like case by case, but I don't know. Because you could argue then that it's like if you advocate this, then you're going to run into problems in which individuals who don't have good, you know, intentions are going to abuse or take advantage of anything. You know, give them an inch, they'll take a mile. But it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. How do you find a middle ground? You can't also just let people like that ruin something like being able to share media for everyone. Share and talk about media. Can't make the bar for entry so high that nobody gets to be able to play with the toys. Like, I don't know. And I will put it this way: like, if somebody found my animation or found my animations and then like tried to steal them, I would be like, cool. That means I did something good enough that you want to take. Eat. Like, I don't know. Like, I would take it as a light compliment. I would say that, unless it got so egregious that it's like, wow, you're like, if somebody like took my work and then like exploded with it, I guess, yeah, I'd be like, okay, I need to do something about it. But that'd be the case, right? Like, if people just reposted my shit and it was like whatever, and was getting people's attention, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But like, I don't know, if somebody's career started around it, then I would be like, okay, I need to at least do something about that. Like, do what, like, those extreme cases. But, like, for anybody who would think that anything I do is kind of neat or cool and just want to share it, like, yeah, obviously. I don't care. It's not mine anymore. That's the other It's not mine anymore. I admit that. Any artist worth their salt should be able to admit that. If you put something out, it's not yours anymore. It's not for you. It was for you when you made it. You shared it with people. Ironically speaking, it's not for you anymore. That said, I do have a chip on my shoulder about the one time where somebody asked me to draw something and then I saw them redrawing it later. But that just feels like the reason why I have my chip on the shoulder about that is because they specifically asked me to draw it and then drew over it to quote unquote improve it. And I was like, okay, sorry. Don't ask me to draw for you, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. Again, I still took that as like, that's kind of a shitty thing for somebody to do. Gone, actually. I moved on, they say, as also I could immediately go into one of my favorite stories regarding this individual, in which I was drawing. I've been drawing, Samus since I learned how to move a pencil and make Samus shape. Um, like I was drawing Samus. I know who Samus is, and this person. This was high school, by the way. Looked at it, and with the popularity of Iron Man, I won't. And this is the funny thing is like I didn't really judge them until the next part. Um, the popularity of Iron Man. I drew Samus for Metroid. Metroid looks very much like Iron Man. I can admit that, of course. Like I like both for person in kind of suit. Um, you know, like uh, and I was like, just drawing Samus because I like Samus. She's one of my favorite characters, even still in high school. And I say that as though if she still isn't one of my favorite characters of all time. She is. But I was drawing Samus Aran, and this girl, same girl who had me draw, by the way, Lightning McQueen, who, I mean, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't hate cars. I didn't hate cars. That was fine, maybe, when I was a kid. Um, but, um, she looked at my picture of Samus and was like, "Oh, that's Iron Man." And I was like, "Well, no. I mean, you wouldn't know who this is, but it isn't." And she was like, "No, it's Iron Man." I know I've definitely told this story, by the way. It just always gets to me. And I was like, "No, no, it isn't." And then she got out her phone, looked up a picture of Iron Man, showed it to me, was like, "No, it's Iron Man." And I was like, "Whatever." So if I didn't know who Iron Man was, one of my favorite characters at the time, an individual that I really liked, and a movie that I really liked. Some people, fucking wild, man, fucking wild. See, I think I have at least a deserved aversion to that kind of thing. So my art no longer belongs to me after I release it. Always remember, though, Flip side, I don't have to like it either. That said, I'm more mature now. Be like, sure. Whatever. Even back then I was like, sure, whatever. Because really, who cares? She didn't fucking know who Samus was. She doesn't care. She's just being a dick. For some reason. Oh. Sometimes people just a dick. I get it. Hot take though. Because I understand that. Don't make it okay. Don't be mean to each other. People stop being mean to each other. Especially because it makes me sad. I really do want to remind everybody that. Like, actually, no, really, don't be mean to each other. Who cares? I grew up with a lot of bad bullying, regardless of if I brought it on myself or not. Don't be mean to people. Don't be mean to people. Nice. I don't think there's really any excuse. I really don't. The only excuse I can think of that even I kind of agreed with and agree with, but don't really even practice much anymore, is the idea that, like, the only people who deserve to be bullied are people who actively bully. And even then, I'm like, I just don't even do that anymore. It's not worth my time. Chite. Do something like that. Why is that where it zoomed in? I want. Why do you keep zooming in? Oh, I see why it keeps going in. This is my last stream for what? If this is the last stream, care about y'all. I'm gonna do everything I can to still have October happen. I'm gonna treat this like it's my last stream. Because at the very least, I can say, at least I saw it coming. There's a part of me that's worried I turn off my computer tonight and my computer doesn't turn back on. I might not turn off my computer tonight, actually, like, depending on timing, because after this, well, you see, you guys might get an active update on how my system doing. Oh, we still got some time. I'm running a security scan just in case, for whatever good that'll do. But there's a part of me that's really worried that it's like, man, I almost had a brick this morning. Almost had a hot brick this morning. And I don't mean my computer. Like, it's getting that close. It's getting to one of those points where it's like, okay, time to back up all my files, because I might not have a computer tomorrow, which wouldn't be great. If that's the case, boy, I guess I just do nothing but sleep and work till I can get my computer back. Go into a hibernation. Really hope that doesn't happen. All that to say, it's been good. It's been good. And the only thing that would keep me from continuing is something like that happening. Catastrophic failure is the only thing that would keep me from keeping doing this. So do know the only thing that would make me quit is the literal capacity to keep doing it has been taken from me. And if that happens, no, I guess I kept trying and tried my damnedest to keep that from happening. know that I've worked very, very hard and very happy actually with what I've been able to accomplish. If I end up being unable to continue doing it for the foreseeable future, I will be working very hard to try to get back to it. Because right now I'm in a bit of a I'm in a little bit of a free fall. I would admit that. My phone is not doing hot. It's also got its own problems that make me go, it's gonna die any day now, I think. It's not looking pretty. And I am worried about it. I am like, God, this is gonna just go tits up any day now, isn't it? Not looking forward to having to deal with that. I think my phone is about to go. I still have to replace 2 tires on my car. Front two. It's been rough. It's been rough. I've had this computer for a very long time. Within the last 2 years, I would say, it has gone through maybe some of the most issue that it's had the entire time I've ever owned it. And I feel really poopy about that. I feel poopy about it all the time. Once before, my computer kind of irreparably died, but I was able to get it back over time. I would say there's still a chance, a hope that maybe I can still recover this. Just have to take some time to build back up to a point that I hope that whatever happened this morning is just a random thing. I do. Hope it is just a little bit of bad luck. And I hope it's bad luck. Because that would imply that it just was a fluke. A weird thing that happened this morning. And it wouldn't continue to. I hope so much that my computer continues working until past October. Because I just want to finish one major project. I will. To hell, Edeems952. You're the reason. Ah, it's the bots. I always knew it. Trying to destroy. Almost done. Almost done. Will say, some positive news. It's nice to see all of Batman Spider-Man reposted by Bonbu. Oh, I didn't know who did that, by the way. I mean, I didn't really know them before either, and I don't think anybody. Well, I'm not going to say anybody. They're wonderful artists, so I'm not going to say nobody knew them just because I didn't know them. I did not know who the creator of, or at least like one of the major animators for Batman Spider-Man was, and they just reposted essentially all of their work back to their original channel, like within the last couple weeks. And I don't know if that's because they were just like, I got it back, or if they were planning to do something with it. But I always have to give them credit because they're not long. They're not long necessarily, but that probably took a lot of time to make and a lot of time to animate. So good on them. Like Batman Spider-Man is pretty simple, but it's not nothing. It's not nothing. I need to start turning the hand now. Oh yeah, I know how this is gonna go. I have an idea. Cerno out one, so we're gonna keep playing it, but I moved around what we'll play next for no reason. For no reason, no reason at all. God damn it, I did it again. That's what I'm saying. So, what am I hitting that causes it to double its time like that? It's so weird. Why does the spacebar cause that? All right. This to rotate this way. So we're just gonna draw the hand for now. I'm gonna. I have a hand. I should look at it. Need need to be slightly bent. I'm gonna do that for now. Okay. First thing is I need to do over a little bit. Oops, Snopey. Snopey. Ah, beans. Ah, beans. This needs to swoop around that way. Do what works. Gotta do what works. Just gotta do what works. And we try everything again. It still is weird to me how when you're doing animation, at least for me, again, I don't know if everybody has this problem or if it's just me, but like if you're doing animation, there's this feeling that if you try to use stillness in certain parts, it just looks wrong. Like if you move something but nothing else moves, it looks wrong. Like you do have to actually do an amount of like retooling in order to get it to work, and I don't know why. I'm not complaining about it either. I think it looks good when you actually do it, but in order to make it look good, you got to do a lot of work. And I wish it didn't take so much work. Unless I'm missing something. I feel like it does take a lot of work to be able to get that preservation of motion in, even when nothing is moving. Very weird. Very, very odd to me. Don't know why it works that way. Uh-oh. My phone. About to be like, my phone just died? We're good. Like, you could argue you wouldn't have to, if there's nothing moving here, why are you having to redraw every single frame like these parts? And I don't know. I actually cannot explain that. I've tried. I've tried just keeping things exactly the same and then only changing the parts that move, and it doesn't work. It just straight up doesn't work. At least it doesn't work for me. I don't, the kind of style that I'm looking for whenever I'm animating does not actually do good to keep everything exactly uniform like that. It needs that kind of texture of motion. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See him. No? What? Hello. Hello. The baby boy is here. The baby scrapey boy is here. He's chewing on my pen. Can't chew on that, sir. Not for chew. You know, as far as chew cats go, like, he really has not been too bad in my experience. Like, he hasn't chewed on anything like so hard that it's destructive. Like if something is too hard, he won't really chew on it. Like I don't like have tooth marks on this pen or anything. No, you're destructive in other ways, you little monster. Do love and appreciate you. He was freaking out earlier. I'm glad he calmed down. I was worried. I was like, we went outside and he was acting weird, and I was like, did you stick your face in like some poison ivy or something? Because you like suddenly got really upset. But he seems to have calmed down now, which is good. I'm glad. Oh, beans. If I have to step away for a second, I just had the thought. I was like, ah, frick. I'm actually home alone at the moment. I can scream as loud as I want. Yay! Um, no, it's not like that. Uh, but I am at home by myself, so I'm uh responsible. And I had the thought. I was like, okay, I'll let Henry out before I stream, so that way I don't have to worry about leaving the stream if Henry go out. And I guess I forgot to let Henry out before the stream started. Oopsie. I mean, I let Henry out. I let Henry out whenever I get home. I'm hoping that'll at least tide him by. And then I should do that as soon as I'm done with this. I should just let him out so that way he can go to the restroom, and I should let him out again before I go to bed so that way he doesn't wake me up. He woke me up this morning and I was like, oh god, why? He was like, gotta pee. Gotta take a shit. And I'm like, oh, dog. It's so goddamn early. Oh God, I was saying his name so much and now I just heard him. No, not now. We'll speak of the devil. If he comes over here and is like, I need to go outside, well, now you guys know why I had to step away. Because my dog was called. Dog has called upon me. Yeah, just hope. I just hope. Stay with my computer. Hard not to think about, honestly. I feel like anybody who has a computer, your computer starts acting weird, you're immediately like, what the hell is wrong with my computer? It's so funny. It like comes in in two forms too. I feel like it's either the way that I feel is like, that was weird, and you like find a workaround and keep using your computer anyways, or something catastrophic happens or almost catastrophic happens, and you go, oh my god, my computer's gonna die. There's no in between, and I mean to be fair, when you start having computer problems, it's always stressful. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? They're not the cheapest. That's the thing is I think that computers are miraculously inexpensive for how expensive they are. But to be honest, like I am not working on a god machine and I'm still able to do what I do, and I'm very glad and grateful for that. Like I don't need a freaking $3,000 rig to be able to do things. Like I don't, and I don't have a $3,000 rig. Still, it's very stressful when even my meager rig, which is maybe still probably about 1,000. Ooh, ooh. What the fuck? Well, I'm not gonna do that now. That might. That was today? Huh. Absolutely bonkers. What the. What the fuck? Red's fat. Okay, this is. We're gonna go on a little bit of a trip. This is at least vulnerable driver in. I almost don't want to say its name lest I speak its ire. Whoa! Huh! Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, I got my answer, and it found. I don't know if it means that it found it today, or if it was something that it was like, well, this wasn't here before today. I don't know if that's the case, but let's hope that this is the problem, and that I still have a working computer in the morning. We'll find out. Glad I did that. Guys, maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it isn't my RAM. I had a feeling, like, one of the things they said it was maybe my RAM. I'm still gonna do everything I plan, but, weird. At least I didn't brick my computer. Deal with that later, though. We've got things that we're. I've got shit that I'm working on, and I still got plenty of time. Actually, we're only an hour and a half in. Honestly, I'm making really good time today, I feel like. Like, insanely good time. Oops. Sometimes this program does things. I don't understand why it does. It's a weird program, man. I don't know why it does what it does. Man or man thing, or girl thing, whoever is out there. Whoever is. Out now. Make this difficult, my child. I can adapt. Just had to move. Just had to move my keyboard away so that way I could get some more space. And I think so. We have this like moving in such a way. And yes, this is one frame, so I'm kind of gonna fudge it just like a little bit, I think. It's not that big of a deal. I will. This. Still the weirdest thing. That works, but that one don't. Just in case. Oh, the human hand. You say you like doing this? Yeah, kinda. Depends. I do. I really do enjoy drawing human hands because I think that they're a fun challenge. You get a lot of interesting and fun shapes out of them. For me, a lot of this stuff is like enjoying and accepting the challenge of what something like a hand can do. And I get it. Hands are hard. Hands are really hard. They take a lot of time, they take a lot of practice, there's a lot of pressure. I don't even always do them right. But that doesn't mean I dislike drawing them. Here's a funny thing. Like I don't have to feel like I do hands perfectly every single time to enjoy drawing hands, because what I get out of hands is the challenge of it. And when you do a hand right, when you do a hand really right, it feels good. It feels really good to do. Which is funny because I think that this hand kind of beats ass. That hand came out really good. Like, you don't. This is something I want to encourage, actually, is that you don't have to be good at something to enjoy doing it. You don't. You actually do not. You do not need to be good at anything to enjoy doing it. You don't. You absolutely do not. And besides, you only get better at something the more you do it anyway. So even if you're not great at something to start with, you can still enjoy doing it, and then over time you'll gain whatever skills, whatever things you need to be able to gain a proficiency at it. You'll get better at it, you'll get faster at it if you feel like you're too slow. Never, ever, 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 ever let anyone or yourself tell you that you can't do something for almost any reason. Now, obviously, of course, bad things can happen with the same motivation. I would like to at least believe that if we let ourselves be too afraid of what we're capable of because of what the bad we can do, then we're never going to do anything good anyways. You will never do anything good anyways if we're too terrified of all of the bad things that we have the potential to commit with the same energy that we can do good things with. I like to believe, anyways. As an example, I really did kind of have that life experience of I just woke up one day and said, what if I just tried animating? What if? Here I am, months later, doing animation actively almost every week. It's close to almost every day. But honestly, the goal with it, my goal by the end of the year is to be working on animation or working on artwork every day of some kind. Though arguably I already got that. I am doing artwork almost every single day. That is actually already a factual statement. I just need to maybe branch it out a little bit. I might do a change. We might see. I might just say fuck it and start sharing the pictures instead of, because I use them for stories right now, and I honestly don't know why I don't just use the drawings anyways. I should. I should just share the drawings as like as a go live thing. I might try that. I might try that. It seems like for whatever reason October, you would think I'd want to do this like kind of switch in the winter at the turn of the year. No, I will probably do this trade over in October. All of my incredible system changing moments happen in October. I don't know why. Might even be before that. I might try it sooner than that. Because at the very least, I've noticed this already. I end up having to take a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time. Which, if it comes to this, I might start doing this with music too. I'm running out of resources, guys. It takes me a while to find some of those pictures, and I don't think anybody cares about the pictures. Personally, like if it's at least gonna be something nobody cares about, it should be something that I do. That way, I don't at least have a chance of somebody being like, "Hey, that's pretty neat. I guess I'll steal it." Dude, if somebody reposted one of my dumb drawings, I'd be pretty happy about that, honestly. Somebody reposted a Monster Hunter meme I made a century ago, and I was like, dude, I do not care. Because when I first posted this, all I got was flamed for it, So the fact that it left an impression on you means those guys could suck my farts. I made a back in the day when there was like a tiny little fad of like of Monster Hunter flowcharts. Essentially, they were flowcharts for different weapons and like what it was like to use a weapon, and it was like a bit. It was just a bit. It was just a bit, man. Uh, and the idea would be like I made one for Gunlance. I made one for Gunlance that was applicable to like fourth generation Gunlance or third generation Gunlance. I don't remember. Um, and then like of course I posted it to like Reddit, and then I got completely sandblasted for it because don't post anything on the internet, lol, moron, five head. Why you share this? This is bad. And then I remembered years later seeing it somewhere else without context is like, oh my god, somebody stole something I made and said it, and then posted it someplace else because they thought it was funny. I don't even care if they're saying they did it. I'm just glad somebody stole my work. I was told that was garbage when I first made it. I think it's the best part. I was told it was trash. I was told it was bad. But somebody still took it and reposted it. So is it really that bad? Is it really that bad? The internet's always going to be that way. I'm not going to be here to contest that. I think that the internet will always be way too critical for absolutely no goddamn reason. That's never going to change. I'm not going to ever think that that's not going to be the case. You know, for kind of having an opening rant that I took for a while there, I feel like I'm actually making really good progress tonight. Like, it's been chugging. I've been chugging. Sometimes what matters less is what you were able to get done, and more of if you got continued progress on something. That's something also to keep in mind if you're working on anything. Is sometimes logging on and working on it. And if you made any progress, progress was made, regardless of if you made a lot or a little. Always keep that in mind. Not diminish your achievements. They are yours. Be proud of them. Genuinely. If you did something today that you're proud of. You did anything today that you're proud of. Good job. You woke up today. Good job. And I'd hope anybody that's watching would be in that camp. You didn't wake up today. I'm very concerned for you. How you are watching this. Do you have a pipeline straight into heaven or hell? Nah, just purgatory. I don't think I'm edgy enough to be placed straight to hell, but I don't think any of the boomers in heaven would want to watch my shit. I curse too much. There we go. That hand came out really good. That hand came out really, really good, actually. Holy crap. That's like a perfect hand. That's like almost the perfect hand. There's like a couple more details I could do here, like this, but that hand came out really good. Well, I'm glad I looked at my hand at that weird fucking angle. That was good. That was a good thing that I did. Challenge yourself. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try something. Funny is this is 3 frames, so I'm gonna have to see if I need another frame, but oh, this will be interesting. So I need something. I need almost the in-between of this. Almost like it's an in-between. So I need, actually, I'm going to start more on do like a complete. You're calm down. What are you freaking out? What are you freaking out about? I want it to be completely side on. Like that. Might need one more frame. We'll see. We're going to try this for now. God. Now this pose kind of sucks. Hey, that's okay. That's the challenge of it. That. I'm trying a couple different things. We'll see. Something like this. Then we'll see if I need one more frame. I'm actually going to see how this looks without that extra frame. Because if I don't, that'd be nice. Would save me some time. Ah, man, I did the classic warble, though. I totally did something last time that I was like, oh, sweet, this saved me time. And then I didn't do that thing, and I went, what the hell was that thing that I did that saved me time? And then I just did what worked, and it was fine. But still, I was like, there was something I was like, dude, I need to make sure to remember to do this last time. It saved me like 2 frames. Now I'm like, what the hell was that thing I was fucking talking about? I'll never know. At least keep this. Oh shit. This. Perfect. I mean, I feel like I'm just on a good groove right now anyways, so I should just stick with it. I think I did like something like I drew like a frame and then I like copied and pasted it and only changed like one thing, but it was like 2 or 3 frames that I like did. I don't remember. Bug the hell out of me. I have no idea. I don't remember. That's vaguely familiar. I remember doing something like that. Get this eye drawn. I am feeling a little bit more. Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit better now, and I'm hoping that the thing that my computer found is going to be the thing that's going to hopefully help a little bit with the thing that has been happening, because, alternatively, nothing would have been found, and I would have been like, well, that's not great. The fact that it found something actually is kind of like, okay, good, you found something. Is that the thing that's been causing problems? Please say it's the thing that's been causing problems. Be nice. It'd be simple. It'd be good. My computer, do not brick it. I might still my backup before I do anything about it, just in case it doesn't do anything that I don't want it to, but, at least I found it. There we go. Let's see what I do after this. I have been taking a bit of a habit that I started actually yesterday that I'm going to be doing a lot now. Essentially, before I go to bed almost every single day, if I'm like, I need to put something on, I'm going to put on one of the inspirations for my game. Last night, I rewatched Alien for the 1 billionth time because that movie is so good. I'll probably actually do Aliens or I'll do The Thing tonight. And the intent is not to be watching it, it's to have it on while I work to be kind of just like there as like information sponging. Like I'm not putting it on to sit down and watch it. Like I've seen those movies 8 trillion times. Well, except for The Thing. The Thing I might do a solid like second rewatch at some point. Um but the intent is not to like me sit down and watch the movie per se, but more of like to kind of pick up on little things to be like, oh, this might be something I want to add to game. Oh, this might be something I want to add to game while I work on other things. Um, that's kind of something that I want to do because as it was kind of hinted at fairly recently, I was inspired by two sources for this actually. One source, the Mr. Creator himself, uh, one of the most inspirational things I've ever heard this goof ass ever say in a most goof ass way is he was like doing like a live interview with some guy that they were just being a little bit unhinged because it's fucking Tyler, man. Tyler can't help himself, and I love him for it. Tyler's great. He's a big goofball. Um, but he was like hanging out with this guy in a record store, and they were going through a bunch of music, and one of the things this guy just asks Tyler out of the blue is like something like, "What's something that you do what's something that you do regarding your music, or what's something that you do every day, or like what's he was like asking him a general question of like how do you go about doing something, and he goes, I listen to something new every day. Tyler does that. Now, whether or not he's does it every day, like I don't know, I don't know the man, but I would at least hold him to a degree of accountability for that, given the kind of person that he is and the music that he makes. I kind of believe Tyler listens to something new every day. And that probably doesn't mean that he like sits down and he listens like it could be as simple as maybe he listens to like one track every day or something, but like something he's never heard of before. And he made that a very clear point of he doesn't listen to something good every day. He just says he listens to something new every day. And honestly, that's fucking powerful, my guy. Tyler, like that's cool. You are a cool guy for doing that. Like I genuinely respect you for that. If you do that, if you genuinely do that, which I have no reason to believe that he doesn't. He said it so genuinely. I do kind of believe the man on that one. Like strikes me as the kind of person who would do that. Uh, so like big kudos to you, Tyler. I totally respect that. Um, and I hope that's true because it's a really cool thing if you do. So like one thing, just in general, I want to be like having new ideas anyways, no matter what. So in order to get ideas, you need to be engaging with other people's ideas. This is why I kind of like the whole like music thing I was saying earlier. Ideally speaking, I should want you should people should want to share their inspirations and the things that they like because you can't get new ideas if we don't explore pre-existing ideas. Just a fact, my opinion. There's a fact in my opinion. No, that is a fact. I feel like anyone who makes anything, who wants to talk about making anything, pretty much all agree that to make anything requires you to engage with other things and engage with other people. That's why Chuck Green recommends that you read. Even though he's an animator, he recommends reading all the time. That's something that Chuck Green actually said. Uh, um, and Tyler saying that he listens to something new every single day. If you want to make something, you have to be absorbing material, whether it's good material, bad material, anything. Material is material because sometimes I have gotten the best inspiration. You get inspiration from everything. The things you like, the things you hate, that can inspire you. Part of the reason why I'm running this campaign is I love Dead Space, but I think that they could do the creature design differently, or I think I could recontextualize the creature design in a way that would make it a little bit more interesting and a little less actually they're just a bunch of scary space zombies. To me, that's boring. That becomes boring to me. And I love the Necromorphs again. That's the point. Is like I see something there, and I'm like, I really am inspired by the designs of the Necromorphs, and I'm inspired by Alien. I'm inspired by a lot of pieces of horror media. I'm inspired by survival horror. I'm inspired by Metroid. Like these are all inspirations that I have of things that I like. That I'm like, how would I handle some of these ideas that somebody else did my own way? Um, another way to look at it, I've definitely been inspired by things that I'm like, why did this suck so bad? I want to, and there are things even out there that it's like, wow, you could be inspired by things that are like even abjectly bad with the idea of like, man, that was just fun. That could be inspiration too. The other one was, again, I don't remember the exact context for this, but I was watching Game Changer with friends, and it was the most recent one. Jacob Wasowski. Sorry, Jake. I don't know your name. I don't know anyone's name. Don't take it personal. I have to really dedicate to memory for last names. Sorry, Jacob. Anyways, we were watching that, and apparently he ran like a podcast or something, and prepare for the podcast, he just put Fight Club on for some reason. They don't explain why, but he put Fight Club on for 72 hours straight. And Alien Isolation is a complete non sequitur. Alien Isolation, the devs have reported that in making that game, they put on Alien every single day for 14 hours. That's a 2-hour movie. That's 7 viewings of that movie a day until that game was done. So I'm gonna try something like that. I'm thinking I just rewatched Alien. I might rewatch Aliens. I like I said, I'm due to actually do a second viewing of the thing. I thought the thing was really cool. I think that would be a good one to rewatch. I actually went back and reviewed some of my footage from Signalis. Actually came in handy. Like being able to go back and see some of the early story stuff and be like, oh, I can use that. Oh, I can use that. And remember, when I say I can use that, it's that inspiration, right? Like you hear sometimes you just need a reference. You need a reference or a reference point of seeing how somebody else says or does something that inspires you to say or do something your way. That is the important thing to remember here. That is the important thing to remember when you're making anything. Is actually you need those references. You cannot work purely from memory. You cannot work you cannot work purely from nothing. You have to pull something. You have to pull from somewhere. And it's important to remember that when you're making something. Now let's look at this. I haven't really looked at this. It looks good. It's funny as yeah, I need one more frame. I think I need one more frame and it'll be good. It'll be perfect. This, delete. Open it up a little. The finger isn't quite up yet. Guys, this is the last stream. I'm glad we streamed. I'm glad we streamed. No matter what happens, I'm glad we streamed. I hope my computer's okay. Hope my computer deals with its shit. I hope it isn't the last stream, but if it is, you know what? Maybe sometimes it's good to have that. Just a little bit. If this is the last stream, it was still good. Still a good stream. It was a good stream to end on. That's all we can ask for. Something good to end on. This will only be the last stream if something terribly goes wrong. Even then, I want to remind people, it's only the last stream because I would have to essentially be on a unplanned hiatus in which my computer decided to go on a spirit journey to somewhere. I will call it hell. It does go to hell. My computer does go to hell. Back in my lap. What? Round face? Round face? What you want? Oh, he's up here. He's here now. A bizarre, strange creature. Left my lap, came back, screams at me, gets back in my lap. His demands are unknowable, yet he will not be denied. No? No? Make sure. I probably could have erased that, actually. Damn it. Damn it. See, that's why I'm looking forward to coloring, actually. I feel like, given how snappy that is, I find it hard to believe that coloring is going to take me all that long, or at least filling in the mattes. I think the part that will make me take a little bit more time is maybe any cells that I have to shade, but that would be it. Because then I would have to like draw out the cell every single time and then fill it. That would be it. I still don't know how color plays around with the onion skinning. That's going to be its own kind of mess, I think. Who knows? Maybe it won't give a shit. Hope it doesn't. Tap down. I'm still listening, YouTube. YouTube, I'm still listening. I do think I need to disconnect my external. Oh, don't look at this. Don't look at that. I do need to disconnect my external hard drive because it is running at 100% for seemingly no reason, and I'm like, why? And I tried to remove it earlier, and it was like, sorry, it's in use, and I was like, why? As far as I know, it shouldn't be in use. So next time I turn off my computer, I'm gonna unplug it. See if that also helps. Again, I don't know why it would be running. It shouldn't. Hey, well, I guess I could have just redone, but it's fine. Boop. Well, hopefully. Here's hoping. If everything is okay, again, which I'm hoping everything is actually okay with my computer. Believe it or not. Doom and doom and everything considered. Why not? Oh, fuck. I do hope that when we get to October, everything goes well. I had a bit of a surprise, so we'll see. Thinking about. I'm thinking about. First, I have to make sure I have a computer. That would be a real shame. Hey, if I think about it this way, I've made so much material that if I ended up having to postpone now, at the very least, I wouldn't have to rework that much because, boy, I've done a lot. That was weird. Why that didn't make lines. Sometimes Animate just says nah. Sometimes Animate is just like, I don't want to draw. Okay, whatever, Animate, whatever. Whatever you want, I suppose. The boss. There we go. Almost done. Almost done. And I mean, like I said, we made really good progress today, actually, I would say. The last couple times, I don't know if I was just going slow or what, but I definitely was not going this fast. Um, buttons are hard. Buttons are hard to push. Somehow I made her shrink. Sure enough, I think her ponytail shrinks. Yeah. I might have it settle for a few frames. But that looks good. That looks good. It came out good. Perfecto. What? You honk at me? What are you honking at me for? What are you honking at me for? Let's see. 16 minutes into this. There. 2 hours in. Have a boy in my lap. I am trying to decide. I was like, maybe maybe at least 30 more minutes. Uh, suffering from success. Boy, I didn't expect to get this much done tonight. Now I'm like, do I want to do this? Yes, I do. Even though I worry about it. Yes, I do. All right. At least maybe 2 more frames of this. That. That. Nay. Just get confused on which button I'm on. So trying to decide. Yeah, we'll do that. Up, down. There we go. I think I want to move this. Oops. Oopsie. Down a little bit. Just to give it a little bit of texture. A little bit of motion, a little bit of make this difficult, sir. Creature in my lap is not making this easy. Don't you love it when you find something that you do consistently and then you just decide to stop doing it that way? I swear. I don't know why. I was like, yes, I've done this now this way this entire time, a very specific way that has been consistent and made it work. And then I just decided to do it different. Oh, felt that way. Just felt like it. Nay, you. Even though I'm not able to play right now, I do want to mention something that I've been seeing a bit of a discourse on about Battlefield that makes me really bummed out as somebody who, at the time that they played it, really got into it. That makes me go, man, I wished I could join because I definitely know I'm one of the old balls who would agree with the people who apparently have a problem with this happening. Apparently a lot of people, obviously, who had never played Battlefield before, fair, totally fine. I actually do think there's nothing wrong with that. Who were streamers who played other games, were complaining about how Battlefield was being handled. Now, my perspective is I don't really care what other people want out of their games, particularly, and they are totally in their right and allowed to criticize Battlefield for not doing or wanting things in Battlefield when it launches. But he's allowed to want things. The reason why I bring this up is somebody who at least has played Battlefield, played a lot of Battlefield, the formative years of their life, that there's a lot of now like discourse and kind of disdain for anyone who does stream, because a lot of people who stream apparently had never had who are like popular streamers who picked up the Battlefield beta, tried it, and apparently acted like they had never played a Battlefield game before. And a lot of the things that people were praising about the new Battlefield and about what the beta felt like were things that were actively being spoken against, which makes me a little sad because it means that the people who created those associations ended up being a lot of content creators. And I'm sitting here, the guy who at once upon a time was doing so much Battlefield that they had clocked an unreasonable amount of hours in it just by playing it generally, that and also grew up with things like Birgerpal, I think is what they're called, Birgerpal. Don't actually remember how to say their name. They're for me the OGs. Even I just went nay earlier. As rest in peps. I hope they're doing well. Those Swedish. I don't remember. They weren't. They weren't. They were foreign to me. They were the classic Battlefield guys, and it's like the irony is it's like I grew up with Battlefield content that was about Battlefield is buck fuck wild, right? Like the thing that a lot of people grew up with, the old Battlefield content, was how wild and silly Battlefield was. Battlefield's a silly game. Battlefield is a silly game, and silly things happened in it. And like people already are like begroaning how there's there streamers joining who are doing nothing but sweating, to which I played Delta Force and I was like, yeah, it was annoying when you had to fight a sweat, but I have a hot take. They really aren't that bad. It was never wild or silly to you? Check out Beer Paul. Beer Paul is my example of if I was to be doing Battlefield, it would probably be something like that, or at the very least, it would be just like being able to just have fun and like be able to, because like that's the whole thing that I always appealed to me about Battlefield that a lot of people didn't like, is that it's like larger experience. Its larger experience allows you to be able to apply yourself in the game without just having to be good at one thing, one core game mechanic. There's actually a lot of game mechanics that you could excel at that could benefit yourself and the people around you. And that to win was always down to a group effort, not an individual effort. But that didn't mean that people couldn't enjoy fragging out. If you want to frag out in a Battlefield game, that's totally fair and fine. Like that's actually a thing that Battlefield also hi Silos. That's the thing that Battlefield actually accounts for. Like I think that they do a good job of being like you can have the top kills on the team, but that doesn't mean your team wins necessarily actually. Like if the other team is like just holding a point or whatever. That's why I'm like you I hate to say this, but you can't really balance air support easily without ruining air support, but that's probably just me. Um, Being a pilot, enjoying how I was so good at a pilot that it made it really hard to kill me, but yeah, fair. Yeah. Game sees game. I hate when people do that in other games, so fair enough. It's true. Aircraft is strong in the right hands, and the thing is like there were ways to shut me down in Battlefield in an aircraft that didn't require me to get shot down, and I thought that was perfectly fine. Like, I actually think that was okay. There's also just like the part of me that's like, when I hear people complain about how like streamers are already ruining Battlefield, I'm just like, man, this sucks. This sucks for me because as somebody who grew up with Battlefield 3, Battlefield Bad Company and Bad Company 2, and even got into it and like started enjoying the series so much that I even went back to 2142, which is super fun. Like somebody who really got something out of that franchise at one point in a certain way and really wants to be able to be like, hey, this is what I could provide to the Battlefield setting is like the kind of stuff that I was doing in those games because I still know I can do it. Every time I've come back to a Battlefield game, it was like dusting off the fucking dirt of an old bike that I used to ride, like getting back into a helicopter. And it just bums me out that once again, I might have to skip it due to my own issues. I'm not saying I'm right for this, but the issues that I'm running into where I can't run it right now. And I don't know if I'll be able to run it anytime soon because it requires me doing something that at this point I'm just like, I kind of just want a new computer. I want a fucking new computer if I'm going to go to that extent. Um, uh, like, all that said, um, there's like, there were two things that I always liked about Battlefield essentially is that you don't play that game to win, ironically. You play it to do your best and you play it to like have those kind of like open world sandbox experiences. Battlefield has always been a sandbox game. Uh there's no winning in Battlefield. Like you don't winning is nice. Winning is a cool thing that happens, but as long as you're participating and engaged in the game, that's fine. That's all you really need in a Battlefield game. That's all that I need. You don't need to win every single match of Battlefield. That's ridiculous. Not that anybody demands that of any game, and if you do, then you're worse off than me. Like I have to remind myself that I don't have to win every single game I play, and I don't. That's not a flex. That's not even like a. That's not even like a. Uh, uh, that's because I don't. That's because I don't lose every game. Like no, I need to remind myself sometimes that I don't win every single match of any video game that I play, and that's okay. Eh, maybe I guess. Still sucks. It's a tough one because it's like it's frustrating because my kind of viewpoint when it came to that was that started killing Battlefield 3 for me was there was a maneuver that I learned that I didn't really ever see anybody do. Um like when I was piloting, I learned how to fly evasively and fly low because the below radar was good. Below radar was good, but it did require an amount of like persistent skill and strategy to actually be able to do. And what it did was it prevented you had to fly close to the ground, but the closer you flew to the ground, you couldn't get locked on by missiles. And I remember them nerfing that and being like, "Ah, oh, come on." And then like if a missile did get shot at me, there was like a maneuver that I found that if you if you did this maneuver, you could shake a missile pretty reliably, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to do. Not everyone even knew how to do it. Like it was a difficult maneuver. And then they like increased the tracking of missiles, and then they increased the damage of missiles. And it's just like after a certain point, it's like I am like being pushed so hard skill wise that it's like I get it. I guess from a balance standpoint, big quotes around that. Um, you know, like I guess I need something like that to like bring the skill level down, but then people would just frag out anyways on the ground. Like people just get free reign to do things like in the tank or in other things that like don't end up getting nerfed. That's the thing that always bugged me about aircraft. Is aircraft kept getting hit and kept getting hit and kept getting hit, and it's like, what the fuck, guys? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it estranges players like me. It does. It's still awkward. It's like, I guess I get it, but then like even when I was playing, I never heard anyone complain about aircraft. Like I never heard anyone complain about my piloting, and I certainly never heard anybody say anything but like, "Wow, you're a really good pilot." So it's like, maybe I'm floating a little bit. Just frustrating. It's frustrating. It's like, what's the point? What's the point in having it then? Like, is a certain amount of like, it feels like if there must have been enough vocal discourse about it, like from the community, that like obviously people were like fed up with pilots doing things and like being like, oh, they get to fucking just get away with everything. Like I don't know what you're talking about, actually. Uh, because for me, like piloting isn't easy is the problem, right? Like you see somebody get into a helicopter not knowing what they're doing, and then they complain that it's too hard to pilot. Like I don't know where do you balance that? Where do you say that like or you see somebody get into a plane and then like immediately fly it into the ground or something like, so I have this skill that I'm good at, that I'm really good at, that I got really, really, really good at. And it's like, then what if somebody gets really good with a tank? What if somebody gets really good with a gun? It's not easy. I've never seen anybody say that the helicopters are easy to fly in a Battlefield game. That's why it's frustrating. It's not easy. It's actually really hard. Um, especially from my perspective of what I do to make myself survivable in a Battlefield game is not easy. It's not. It requires a lot of things. It requires you having a sense of control of the aircraft in a way that doesn't come naturally to probably a lot of people. It requires you to be aware of your surroundings in a way that most people just don't really care about, which is why they are usually like, man, I can't pilot for shit. Um, like it requires a lot of skills that are skills, and they continue to nerf it because it's quote unquote too strong. So where do you draw the line? Like, I have a like feeling that like that is the kind of thing, and that's the thing is like, if I was in aircraft, I was always deal. You want to know how to keep me out of a fight? Other aircraft. Then I'm not doing air support. I can't do air support. I got to deal with the other aircraft. Like, there are ways to keep me preoccupied that kept me out of the fight. Like, it's not like it was impossible, and it's not like it was like, I don't know. And also, I mean, I get it. That's probably just me bragging a little bit too much. I get it. But when you have something like that, I feel like it sucks. It sucks that I'm like, I know I have that skill and I want to share that skill, and people are already going to be like, people are already like dead on arrival about people wanting to share Battlefield. Because I believe that the people who genuinely want to share Battlefield, people like me, want to share the experience of it, as well as maybe a little bit of sweat. That's what I sweat at. It's the sweat that I'm good at. Sure, I'm sorry. I want to be able to share what I'm good at. Um, and people are already immediately like, yeah. Because one of the things that I'm really proud of that I don't do in a Battlefield game that oftentimes anyone who says that they're a pilot, I've never seen anyone fly this way. Nobody I ever saw in any of the amount of hours that I played Battlefield on console or PC or anywhere I've ever seen do this. And they don't think about their positioning in a helicopter. They don't. They fly around in a circle and turn their brain off. Believe it or not, that's actually not hard to shoot down. When I'm in a helicopter, I think pretty heavily about my positioning, actually a lot. And I actually utilize it as a weapons platform, regardless if it's a regular helicopter or an attack helicopter or a cargo helicopter. My pride and joy is taking cargo helicopters and turning them into fucking nightmares for people. Like, and who does that? Nobody. Nobody does that. Nobody cares about the cargo helicopters. I've been told that what I do with those helicopters, no one has ever seen. Because oftentimes they have really strong weapons, but nobody knows how to communicate and pilot them to get effective use out of them that I ever saw. Um, that's why I always go to that clip that my friend made fucking 14 years ago. Like I look at that and I'm like, I still know if you watch that clip in all of its 360p glory, if you go back and watch that clip, it is a little bit different from my perspective than it is from their perspective. But the biggest thing that I do is I always train in the direction that I want my gunners to shoot. And if I can find a position to hold, I will hold that position and watch where people are. And when I watch where people are, what I'm actively doing is two things. I am guiding my gunners to targets to shoot and helping them shoot, actually. So oftentimes, I straight up told my gunners, don't fight the aim. I will watch where you are shooting, and I will train your fire towards a target. Because I can do that. Because the tracers were that easy to watch in Bad Company 2. And then, what I'm equally doing is I'm watching out for enemy fire. And I'm doing a little bit of evasion, moving around. But if I see a rocket or I hear a rocket fire, I physically move the aircraft to evade. You cannot do that flying around in a circle, which I see a lot of people do. Because if you were flying in a circle, you cannot see what is shooting at you. I don't know anyone who flies a helicopter in the game like that. And it makes me mad that I can't share that. Nobody does that. Nobody that I know, nobody that ever watched play the games ever did that. That's why I'm kind of proud of that Delta Force video. It shows I still got it, and I want to kernelize that. The fact that I can't get on in on the action, and streamers already ruined Battlefield because they played Fortnite and COD so much that they're like, why doesn't Battlefield have a ranked mode? Why isn't Battlefield more competitive? It's like, god damn it, it's not competitive. The Battlefield isn't competitive per se. It can be and it can't be at the same time. Like it's a frag house. Battlefield is a bit of a frag house. And the fact that I can't get in on that, the fact that I can't illustrate that continues to frustrate me to no end. Because I swore off Battlefield to a certain extent. I was like, I'm done with that fucking franchise. Like, I tried 2042. I thought it was okay a little bit. And then it just kind of soured, it felt like at the time. And even though there were things I liked about it, people didn't want to really play it. And I was just like, okay, fine. Fuck this game. I'm done. Which sucks, because even when I played 2042, when they were doing the callback to Bad Company 2 with Valparaiso, I got in the Black Hawk, and I flew that motherfucker. And one of the first matches I did fantastic, and people were like, what the fuck? And I don't get to share that now. And then I get to hear how people are getting in on the fun and how fun Battlefield is. And then I also get to hear how the people who are representing the content creative focus of that game are bad for it. And I just go, this fucking sucks. This sucks. It sucks so bad. Whether Battlefield 6 is good or not, I don't know. I think it has its own slew of issues that it's already running into that are problematic. They are problematic. I think it has some problems, even without having played it that I've heard of. I mean, for starters, the my bias is the whole requiring you to turn on secure boot also assumes that everybody has Windows 11 installed, which we don't. And then if we don't, and you have the system that I have that isn't set up for it, it is possible to convert it, but it's just kind of a big risk. It's not impossible. And the more I look into it, I'm like, it's probably not really that bad. I probably could do it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get Battlefield running. And it's awkward because it's only done in service to antivirus. It's done into anti-cheat. But I mean, I had this discussion with friends, and it's like I get it. I'm not here to say like how dare they try to improve anti-cheat. Like, no, anti-cheat has been a problem since the dawn of multiplayer games. Like, it's not spyware. Um, what the fuck was it? Was it spyware? No, spyware is a term. God, why can't I remember the name of the like anti-cheat that I used to use for like Halo and stuff? There was an anti-cheat that Halo used to use. GameSpy. Like GameSpy was a thing, but I still ran into cheaters in like Halo and America's Army and shit. GameSpy did only so much. This game's and if it genuinely does like improve anti-cheat, if it genuinely does help, like I'm not here to be like, okay, fine, yeah, sure, yeah, I agree, I do agree with the idea of like, okay, if it actually does, though people have already been back and forth on whether or not the cheating in Battlefield 6 beta was still not a problem or not, or if it did anything, or just like the fact that it still didn't go away. But then people will be like, one of the excuses I heard is like, oh no, if everybody wears battle armor, but somebody gets shot with a bullet and still dies, everybody should stop wearing battle armor. It's like, I mean, you kind of proved your own point there, bud. Actually, what's the point in wearing battle armor if it's not gonna do anything? What's the point in wearing Kevlar if the Kevlar doesn't stop the bullet? You know, like it still kind of is the point. I think anybody who's like, it's still better than nothing, it's like, is it better than nothing? Because it doesn't seem to do anything. If it was better than nothing, if it is truly better than nothing, then wouldn't that imply that there isn't a cheater problem when it sounds like people were having issues with cheaters anyways? Anyway. Welcome to the stream, Silas. My computer might be dying. That's the actual topic of the day. Today might be the last stream for a while. Well, I don't know. I got my computer running today, so might be a bit of a Dread Pirate Robert situation of hello, good morning, good night, good work, kill you in the morning. We'll see. Had a bit of a scare, but still here, and I just ran a security. I just ran a security scan, and it did in fact find something. So I'm hoping that maybe that'll help. Hoping that'll help. We'll see. This is coming out good. This is coming out good. Yeah, that finger came out good. I like that. We're at 240. I think I will call it here. I need to. I don't actually know if I'm going to turn my computer off tonight. I might not. I might not end up actually turning my computer off tonight because what I might end up doing is run a backup while I'm asleep. And then probably tomorrow I will turn off my computer, but. Listen, you can't blue screen if I don't turn you off, right? You can't blue screen if you're running forever. Uh-huh. Let's go back. I don't know. Again, maybe I was lucky being one of the pilots, one of the pilot mains. I never got the impression that pilots made the game unplayable. I don't know. And if there was a pilot good enough, I either tried to find a way to deal with them or I avoided them. That's usually what I did. Or I got in a plane and shot them down myself. I don't know. I don't know. Don't even get me started about anti-air. I think anti-air is a band-aid. Hot take, anti-air is a band-aid. And the reason why I say that is because it's a hard counter to aircraft, sure, but most of the way that people play anti-air is they don't participate either in the game, and all they do is make sure that the helicopters and planes don't get to play. I was like, cool, that's not fun for us. Where's the line? I don't know. It goes both ways, I guess. Like, kind of being more mature and a little bit older nowadays, the way that I think about anti-air is like, if anti-air is going to be that incessant, I just won't fly. Fair enough. I'll do something else. You do something else. Because now, if you stop flying, the anti-air is literally not participating anymore because it's waiting for aircraft to appear. And if the aircraft are just not going to be working because they're going to be playing anti-air so heavily that they prevent you from playing, might as well play something else. We'll do something else. That's the thing. Battlefield got a lot of video games in it. That's the thing that I think people don't realize is Battlefield is a game with multiple games in it, and if one of those games isn't working, you just go play another game. You do shooting, you can do groundwork, you can do aircraft, you could do support because that's a game in which playing support is always appreciated and not demanded or required of anyone or anything, but is a valid and incredibly helpful and incredibly underappreciated role. What is my mouse now stuck on? Sorry. Oh, that's what it's stuck on. Oh, that happened, but at least I got it unfucked. Oh, I hit a button. Oops. This monitor is definitely meant to be moved as often as I move it. There we go. Such a pain to get it. All right. All right. I'm going to start closing up. I'm going to start closing up shop. Thanks for joining everybody for the last stream. Hopefully I stream tomorrow. Thanks for joining everybody. Hopefully I stream tomorrow. But if not, thanks for joining for the last stream. It was a good run. I'm hoping that everything's okay. I hope that the computer is okay. If it isn't okay, I'll find a way to fix the computer. So, really, I just was panicking today because I thought I lost like a month's worth. I lost several months worth of work. I would have lost this project. I would have lost all the work I did on my game coming up for October. I would have lost so much. I would have been devastated. And I'm glad that I at least got my computer running enough that I could make a backup exactly and not lose any work, hopefully. So we'll see. I'm going to definitely do that tonight. But on that note, thanks for joining, everybody. We're going to do one more thing before we go. I'm going to go ahead and open up Paint and make a timer, and we're going to make a prompt together. If you want to participate in chat, all you got to do is type in chat whatever chat says. I'll also add to the prompt, and then I'll make an image and then share it before we raid out. So, hugging my computer to bed as I get on the helicopter. But hey, I made good progress. I got the last funny second. The last funny second got finished. It looks good. I think it looks good. Did a good job. It did a good job, Petey. That hand turn did work out really well. It looks good. It looks good. I might do a couple of adjustments to it. I might give it a little bit more pop, like I'll slightly adjust the hand in spots, but I think it's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. It works. It works really well, actually. Thank you for making me do the funny T-Rex hand. Yeah. Just goes to show, guys, sometimes you just gotta try a hand. You just gotta try hands. Don't get scared by hands. Don't be afraid of hands. Learn how to draw hands. They're hard. I get it. They're not easy. Something not being easy is okay. It's okay if something's not easy. It's okay if something's a challenge. Enjoy it. You can still have fun with hands, even if they're not easy to draw. This song is so goddamn good. I can't wait to hear it in the game. All right. Hugging my computer to bed as I get on the helicopter. Wish me luck. Perfect. Oh boy. I think I had this dream. I think this is a dream I had, actually. I think I had this dream. I sure did draw the prompt. Alright, stick around to the very end. I also do a bit of a closing bit, and we do raid after every stream, so that way the vampires in our chat can keep watching. Just everybody else out there, make sure to go lock your doors and windows. It's almost lunchtime for vampires. And thank you for joining, everybody. I hope you had a good time and you enjoyed the show. Drink some water. If you're able to join the live show, that you're stopping by and chatting and watching. If you're watching this in the future, thank you for taking the time to go back and rewatching the VOD. We appreciate it. If you're out there and you enjoyed this, you can scroll down below and follow or click in any of the links. There's a link to an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, and a Discord. We post when we go live on any one of those platforms, as well as anything else that we're up to, and just generally come hang out with the rest of the community there. It's a good time on the Discord. Speaking of which, a shout out to our community there and everyone who follows. You guys are a wonderful audience, and we appreciate you. If we do anything particularly entertaining or noteworthy, feel free to clip it and share it on the internet. Just make sure to also hashtag with MCCanary or link it back to the stream so people can find more of the good stuff we do here. And if you want to see the stream grow, you got to let people know. I appreciate that people have been talking about the stream, and I encourage you guys to do it more. It does help us out, and it's just super rad that you guys are willing to do that. So go tell people about the stream. Go tell your friends about the stream. I won't. And as always, a huge thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon, Coffee, and Twitch. Your generosity allows us to continue to expand the stream as well as take on more projects, and the stream would not be made possible without viewers like you. So we thank you. If you want to see your name added to this list, as well as a couple of the benefits you get, you can always subscribe directly on Twitch or check out the Patreon page or Coffee here. We'll show you everything that you can get, and any amount is always appreciated. Once again, thank you. And thank you to your mods for your wonderful job of holding back the road army to prevent becoming famous. Thank you for everybody for coming and hanging out. We had a good time hearing me ramble. Hopefully my computer survives the night. We'll see. Get you through housekeeping to get you on your way. Check out the rest of our friends in Goblin Entertainment. That link tree has links to everyone's channels and everything that they've done and they've been up to, and the rest of my stuff can be found here, which has everything that I post to, so go check everybody out in Goblin Entertainment. And stick around, we'll go say hi to someone. Let's go say hi to someone. Let's go say hi to... I feel we did Meba earlier. We did Meba Monday. Let's go say hi. I haven't noticed Lucian's streaming more again. We'll go say hi to him. He's playing Pokemon. I'm glad he's back. I hope he's doing well. So we'll go say hi to him. Would it be nice? Otherwise, have yourselves a good evening. Take it easy. Apparently, he's grinding Pokemon into items. I have no idea what's going on. He just opened a Pokeball and it was just sparkling. So I was like, oh no, what did he do? What did you do? So stick around for that. Otherwise, have a good evening. Take it easy. And remember, probably clean your computer more. Everybody should probably clean their computer more. Or else it might be the last time you see your computer before you get on that helicopter. And nobody wants that.